Hello there, I'm going to tell you what I'm planning to read this fall. In my mind, fall has started. It started on September 1st. I think that summer has a sharp cutoff of September. I know that's not technically true. Technically, summer lasts until like almost the end of September, but to me, it's fall. It was 29 degrees yesterday. When summer starts, I love summer, but then when fall starts, I love fall. And then when winter starts, I love winter. I live in an area where I get to experience all four seasons, and I'm obsessed with it. I used to think all the time about what my favorite season was, but I just like experiencing all four seasons. And I'm so excited for colder weather. I'm so excited to be able to drink fucking tea whenever I want. I know that makes me sound like a douchebag. Anyway, I have 31 books and I'm planning on reading this fall. Again, to me, fall is like 3 months, September, October, November. So 31 books is not like crazy. I might actually read that. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to read now that I'm back in school, like on campus. I have to read a lot of stuff for school. Right now it's just poems though, which is so easy. I have readings that I have to do for next week and it's like 5 pages. That's amazing. This is some of what I'm planning to read. I think it's a good chunk of it, but this is certainly not 31 books. I've somewhat organized these books into sections, but not really. The first section is miscellaneous. Similar to my video about what I wanted to read in August, I don't know what happens I don't know the summaries of a lot of these books. I don't like to know. I like to read a summary and then stop as soon as I have enough information to know if it's something that I want to read. I don't want literally any spoilers. So that might make this video a little bit pointless. Because why am I telling you about books that I have no idea what they're about? What am I going to possibly say about them? I don't know. Let's find out together. First thing I want to read is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. This has been on my TBR for it feels like forever, and I've just never gotten around to it. I think I heard a few like middling reviews that kind of turned me away from it. But then recently I read Julia Armfield's short story collection Salt Slow, and I loved it. It was exactly what I like in short stories, and I really liked her writing style, so I really want to see more from her, and I know this is her more popular book. To the best of my knowledge, Our Wives Under the Sea is about a queer couple, and one of them goes in a submarine, and then something traumatic happens, and she comes back up, and she's a completely different person. And I think the story is about the couple dealing with that. And I think probably it's a thing where like you don't know what happens in the submarine and you're wanting to find out the whole story, which I love. I like character stuff too, but I really like plot. I want everything. I want to have it all. I want plot, I want characters, I want good writing. What a profound opinion. I hear people say all the time that they just want no plot, just vibes. I do not relate to that. Then I want to read Lost on Me by Veronica Raimo. I saw this on the International Booker long list, and really the main reason that I want to read it is because I love the cover. I think it's stunning. This, I'm pretty sure, is about like a woman in a neurotic family. I think it's supposed to be funny. I read that it was like Fleabag. I have no idea what happens. Look at that damn cover though. Then I want to read a book that I swear to God every single fall I think I'm gonna read this book, and then I just don't. I think I got maybe at the most 80 pages into it on one of my attempts at reading it. I know it's gonna be good, but I just keep putting it down. And that's Just Kids by Patti Smith. And this is her memoir. I think it's about her, and it's like gay. Maybe she has a bisexual partner, or maybe she has a best friend who's gay. I'm sorry. I was born in 2000. I'm not up to date on these people. I like Patti Smith's music. I don't know who Mapplethorpe is. I don't even know his first name. John? Robert? This to me just feels like a fall book. I feel like this has a really strong atmosphere, really strong vibes. It's about artists in New York City, probably. I really hope that I get to this. One year I want to get to this. Then I want to read Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. First of all, this is the most beautiful edition of a Toni Morrison book that I have. It's not too shiny like all the other ones. I love this. Toni Morrison is my favorite author. I have been saving Song of Solomon for as long as I could possibly hold out because I know that it's going to be my favorite of hers. I know that this book, I think, has quite a bit more of the magical realism elements that I love the way she has incorporated in other works of hers. I just know the writing is going to be fantastic, and I'm pretty sure that the story is going to be my favorite out of all of them, even though she does have a lot of other books. I'm so happy to have a favorite author. Like, fuck you, Melissa Broder. You've only written 3 things. I love her work. I've read 2 of the 3. Toni Morrison, I've read 4 books from, I think, and there's so many more to go. Part of me wants to save this for last, but I just can't. I just want to get to it so bad. After that, I want to read Heaven by Mieko Kawakami. This is about maybe middle schoolers. Maybe elementary school, maybe early high school. I don't fucking know. I don't know what these books are about. But I know that this is about kids who are bullied. And I think it's about 2 kids and they're both bullied and they come together. And I've heard that it really puts you back in that headspace of like being a vulnerable child with peers who are mean. Fuck yeah. That's gonna destroy me. I'm probably gonna stop reading forever after I read Heaven. Next on my list is Nobody, Somebody, Anybody by Kelly McClorey. This, I think, is just about a weird, anxious, neurotic, obsessive woman, and that is my kind of fucking fiction. This woman is working as a maid for the summer as her EMT exam approaches. I think she's taken it 2 times and failed, and she's just getting increasingly more and more anxious, and so she administers some self-created drug that is supposed to help her pass the exam, and then maybe she falls in love. I think this book really deals with isolation and obsession, and I'm super excited for that. Then I would like to read Mary Karr's memoir, The Liars Club. This is so highly revered. I've heard so many good things about it, and I've just never gotten around to it. I know that Mary Karr had an absolutely horrible childhood. I think this is a devastating book, but I've also heard that there is some hope and that she tells these awful stories with this kind of wonderful sense of humor, and I'm pretty sure this will be fantastic. It's been a while since I've read a memoir, so I really would like to get to this. And Just Kids. Who knows? Maybe I'm just not in the mood for memoirs. Then we have My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. I've never read anything from her, and I thought, why not start with the most popular one? This, I think, is about 2 women growing up in Italy. And one of them is really smart, and the other one is also smart but has to try harder. Literally, what do I know? I'm mostly reading this just to see if her writing is something that I like, because I think that she has written a lot of books, and she writes under a pen name, so it's like mysterious. Then I have Severance by Ling. This book I took out a long time ago, and then I lost it. And I had to pay the library $40, and I lost my bookmark that was in it that had these really cute little pig-shaped clips that I used to track the quotes that I liked. I lost all my little clips. Part of me thinks that this is the copy that I lost, and someone else has returned it and stolen my bookmark out of it. This is about an apocalypse. I don't want to know more about this. I know it's like some famine, something like that. I read Bliss Montage by Ling Ma, loved it. That's her short story collection. It's amazing. I love her writing. I love how weird she is. I'm sure that this will be great. Then I have Chlorine by Jade Song. I've been wanting to read this all summer, and I'm kind of upset that I didn't get to it this summer, but I still think I'm going to enjoy it. I don't need to limit myself to seasons with books. This is just about swimming and being like a competitive swimmer, and that feels really summery to me. The summary for this is really vague, so even though I have read the summary for this one, I can't tell you much about it. You know, the tensions in the life of being a competitive swimmer. It's stressful, I think. Something about mermaids, but maybe that's just a metaphor. Up next in my list is a little bit unrealistic because it's very big and because I don't really read poetry. That's the collected poems of Audre Lorde. I love her nonfiction essays so much. Sister Outsider is one of the best books I've ever read. I've owned this for a long time, and I don't know if I really want to read poems. I think that I put this in this list out of pure vanity, because I am back on campus for the first time in 2 years, and part of me is like, I want to be seen reading. I want people to see me reading the collected poems of Audre Lorde because I think it makes me look well-read and it makes me look smart. Another reason is that when you are doing an English degree, you actually have to read a lot of poetry. It's not just fiction. It's right now, first couple weeks, only poetry. I'm thinking like a poetry book is something that I don't have to read all at once. I really struggle to read more than one book at a time, but I think that I could just have little tastes of this while I'm reading other fiction. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just pick this up every once in a while. Next on my list is People from My Neighborhood by Hiromi Kawakami. This is a collection of short stories. I've heard good things about Kawakami's work, and this is like weird, surreal, absurd short stories. I'll tell you what some of them say. A schoolgirl who keeps dolls' brains in a desk drawer, an old man with 2 shadows, one docile and one rebellious, a diplomat no one has ever seen who goes fishing at an artificial lake no one has ever heard of. Awesome. This is really short. I think the stories in this are really short. This will be a really quick, really easy read. I'll probably read this after I read one of the longer books here, because that's how I keep myself from falling into a reading slump. Read something long, get really tired of it, read something really, really short, really, really quick. Then I have Shmutz by Felicia Berliner. This is about an Orthodox Jewish woman who I think gets addicted to porn. Sounds awesome. Sounds really weird. I'm really into it. Okay, now I have like the horror, scary or creepy books. I'm not defining any of these under that genre because that's too much pressure. I'm not the arbiter of horror. But you gotta read some freaky stuff. It's fall. I'm so excited. Fuck. So first on my list is Out by Natsuo Kirino. This I've heard really good things about. I think it's really fast-paced, really dark. It's about a group of women and one of them kills her husband. And I think it's just about the aftermath of that. I've heard from multiple people whose opinions I trust that it's a fantastic book. Absolutely pumped for that. Then I have Bunny by Mona Awad. I have been looking for this everywhere. The waitlist at my library is so long for it. It's not at any bookstore I've been to. My sibling gave this to me, thank God. So it is already annotated with their fucking bright purple highlighter. Ugh. This is about either turning men into rabbits or turning rabbits into men. It's about dynamics between groups of girls. I think it's a campus novel, and I think it's gonna be awesome and really weird and really gross and really creepy. Evil Women. That's what this is about. Love it. Then I want to read A Certain Hunger by Chelsea Summers. It has a beautiful cover, and that's really why I'm drawn to it. Maybe this is about cannibalism. I think it's about a chef, and I think it's just about her life. I think she's maybe a psychopath and maybe kills a man, maybe kills many men. Is it even about cannibalism, or have I just extrapolated that from the title? I'm not 100% sure. Who knows? Who knows what any of these books are going to be about? That looks right up my alley, though. Weird, evil women, just like Bunny. Next on my list is My Annihilation by Fuminori Nakamura. This is about a murderer. I think it's like a confession. The write-up says that it implicates the reader in it, and also that it's kind of like a puzzle. I think it's about the motives of the killer. I think it's disturbing. It's about like monstrosity. Sounds great. Then we have Hot Springs Drive by Lindsay Hunter, and this is about two women. One of them kills someone. One of them's dead. Maybe a husband's dead. Somebody's dead. It's a portrait of friendship between two women that I think goes wrong. This one I really don't know anything about, and my camera's dying. I don't have time to look it up. Then I have The Vegetarian, which has been recommended multiple times by people on here, and everyone has made it seem so good and so up my alley. It's about like this woman who's having violent images in her head, and so she gives up eating meat. I think that it goes in a really crazy direction that I am not sure what it is, and I think that the writing is supposed to be really good, and it's supposed to be super fucking disturbing. Then I want to read You Will Love What You Have Killed by Kevin Lambert, which is about a town where all of the children who have died in it come back to life. It's not a zombie story, I don't think. I think it's about violence against children. Seems like a heavy read, and the cover of it is like crazy. What the fuck? I saw it in the library, and I was either intrigued by it or like really turned away from it, and I'm not 100% sure what my feelings were. Then I have I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. This I have been on the fucking holds list for it feels like 6 months, and I just picked it up today. I'm so excited for this book. I don't want to know more about it. I think that this is about a cult of women. Ew, with an afterword by Sophie McIntosh. I hated The Water Cure by her. It was so shallow and so, it's a feminist revenge fantasy. No, it was not. It was about a woman being taken advantage of, you fucking asshole. Sorry, that's kind of changed my opinion about this, but I'll let the writing speak for itself and not the author who wrote the afterword. This is about a woman who grows up in a cult underground, and then they come to the outside. And it's an all-female cult, and then they come up and there's men. And now they know men. No, that's not what happens. Sorry, I just made that up. This is about women in a cult. I think they're trying to escape. Forget everything that I said before. Like, I actually have no idea what this is about. Then I want to read Bear by Marian Engel, which I have been on the holds list for forever. This is a Canadian book, I think, and I'm surprised it came out in 2002. I thought this was new, and that's why there were so many goddamn holds for it. This is about a woman who goes into the Canadian wilderness to do some sort of job, and she falls in love with a bear. Amazing. So cool. Then, like, maybe kind of in the same vein, but not really, is Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. That's about a mother. It's about motherhood. She thinks she's turning into a dog. They're making a movie of it, and I watched the trailer, and even though I haven't read the book, I did not feel like it was faithful to the book. Yeah, like, who am I to say? I don't know anything about the fucking book, but I was like, I'm not gonna watch this movie. It's not good enough. Then I have The Shards by Bret Easton Ellis. I did not know that this was a fucking tome when I picked this up. I've heard people say really good things about this. I just had in my head that this was like a 200-page tiny little book. No idea why. Shocked to see this on the hold shelf at the library. This is by the author of American Psycho. I've never read anything from him, but people that I like his work. So, like, who am I to say anything about him? This is about a group of friends, and there's a serial killer in their town or in their city or something. It's supposed to be really fast-paced, which is why I did not leave it at the library, because I do not read 600-page books. I would like to, though. I would like to read something huge like this, and I'm kind of excited. Then I have the two books that I have to read for school, which the first is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which I have not bought yet because I forgot. And then I have Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I only have to read 2 full books this semester. Everything else is excerpts, which is kind of disappointing, but I will live. I have never read anything by Bronte or Woolf, and I'm a little bit excited and a little bit intimidated. Okay, my last section is classics. I want to read some more classics. I'm an English major now, gotta embody that. First I have As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. Can't remember what this is about. I think I saw that it was short. Haven't read any Faulkner. Maybe it'll be good. Then I want to read Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky. Everybody told me that that was a way better place to start than Crime and Punishment. I would like to give him another shot. I don't think it was fair of me to completely write him off as an author after reading Crime and Punishment, especially when that was my introduction to classic work. Should have started with something else. Notes from Underground is very short. I'll be able to get through it, and I think I'll be able to like it better just because of the length. Then I have The Outsider. This is about maybe a man who kills somebody. He's an outsider. I don't know what to say. He's different. He's different than other people. This is a really short book. My dad recommended this to me, which is kind of cute. And then I have The Yellow Wallpaper. This also has other things in it. My sibling also gave this to me. Everybody told me this is a better version of The Bell Jar, that this is what I should have read instead of The Bell Jar. And it's very short. I've heard only good things about it. Okay, last book on this list. This is another fucking tome. This is a doorstopper. I, for some reason, have been really compelled to read it lately, and that's East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I feel like everyone who I hear talk about it loves it unconditionally. It's supposed to be very readable. I would like to read a big book and feel proud of myself when I finish it. And that's as good a reason as any to read a book. Though I want to own it. I want to write in it. For whatever reason, I prefer to read classics that I own. My bookstore that's closest to me has only the ugliest copy of it that I've ever seen, and I refuse to spend my money on it because I'm going to be spending a lot of time with that book. It's long as hell. I do not want to have this ugly fucking version of it, so I'll need to find it somewhere else. But once I do, I would like to read that. That's really all I got for you. Hopefully I get to some or maybe most of these. Really, hopefully I get to the 2 books that I have to read for school. Let me know what you're reading this fall. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.